It is a Saturday morning and you are scrolling through your phone. The screen is fine. The battery lasts all day. Every app works perfectly. But somehow you want a new one. Not because you need it, because it feels old. That feeling has a name. It is called the Newness Tax. And it is quietly draining thousands from your financial future every single year. Today we are going to run the replacement test, a simple checklist that tells you with zero emotion whether you actually need to replace something or whether you are just paying for the feeling of new. Stay until the end because the math on this one will genuinely shock you. Let us start with something every single person watching this has felt. You pick up your phone one morning and it just feels slow. Not broken, not dead, just not as fast as it used to feel. So you start browsing, just to look, just to see what's out there. And within 20 minutes, you've convinced yourself you need a new one. Here's what actually happened inside your brain during those 20 minutes. You didn't discover a need, you manufactured one. This is called lifestyle creep in its most expensive form. Your phone didn't change between Sunday and Monday. Your expectations changed the moment you saw something shinier. And the same thing happens with cars, with laptops, with furniture, with everything. The product did not fail you. Your perception of it changed. That distinction is worth thousands of dollars if you learn to catch it early. So how do you catch it? You run the replacement test. The replacement test is a 7-question checklist. Answer every question honestly, and the checklist tells you the truth your emotions cannot. It doesn't care how good the new model looks. It doesn't care about the upgrade cycle. It only cares about one thing. Do you actually need this replacement or not? Let's go through every single question now. Question 1. Is the current item physically broken beyond reasonable repair? Not slow, not outdated, not embarrassing to be seen with. Physically broken. A cracked screen that still works is not broken. A phone that won't turn on is. A car with a dent is not broken. A car with a failed engine is. If your answer is yes, the replacement may be justified. If no, move to question 2. Question 2, does the current item prevent you from doing your actual job or daily tasks? Not comfortably, not quickly, not as smoothly as the new model would. Does it prevent you from functioning? That's a completely different standard. If your phone cannot make calls, that's prevention. If it just opens apps slowly, that's preference. If your car cannot start, that's prevention. If it just looks old, that's ego. Prevention justifies replacement. Preference never does. Question 3, have you had it repaired or serviced recently? Most people skip repair entirely and go straight to replacement. A phone battery replacement costs $20 to $50 and adds 2 years of life. A car service costs a fraction of a new car payment and extends the vehicle life by years. If you haven't tried repair first, you haven't earned the right to replace yet. Question 4, what is the total cost of replacement versus the total cost of repair? Not just the sticker price, the total cost. New phone, not just $800, it's the case, the accessories, the insurance, the data transfer time. New car, not just the monthly payment, it's insurance increase, registration, depreciation, interest over 5 years. When you see the full number, replacement becomes far less attractive very quickly. Question 5, will the replacement genuinely improve your financial productivity? Not your mood, not your status, your financial productivity. Will a new phone help you earn more money, save more time, or create more value? Or will it just make you feel better for 30 days before becoming the new normal? If it doesn't move your financial needle, it's a lifestyle purchase dressed as a necessity. Question 6, can you pay for the replacement in full without financing? If you can't buy it outright, you can't afford it. Full stop. Financing a depreciating asset is one of the most expensive financial decisions you can make. A $50,000 car financed over 5 years at 6% costs you $65,000 total. That $15,000 difference is the price of impatience. If the answer to question 6 is no, the replacement test is already over. You failed it. Question 7. If the item were not available for replacement, would you find a way to keep using what you have? This is the most honest question on the entire checklist, because if the answer is yes, then you are never replacing out of need. You are replacing out of opportunity, out of availability, out of marketing pressure. And opportunity is not the same as necessity. Those are the 7 questions. Let's talk about what the answers actually mean. If you answered yes to questions 1 and 2, replacement is genuinely justified. If you answered no to questions 1 and 2, but yes to 3 through 5, repair and optimize first. If you answered no to question 6, stop. Save first, buy later. Never finance a depreciating asset. If you answered yes to question 7, put the item down and walk away. You don't need it. Now, let's apply the replacement test to the 2 most expensive newness traps in modern life. First, the phone. The average person upgrades their phone every 2 years. The average flagship phone costs $800 to $1,200. Over a working lifetime of 40 years, that's 20 phone upgrades at $1,000 each. That's $20,000 spent on phones alone. But here's where it gets serious. That $20,000 invested instead of spent at 8% annual return over 40 years becomes $130,000. $130,000 from phone upgrades you didn't need. The replacement test applied to phones extend every device by just 1 extra year. That single habit saves you $10,000 over a lifetime. Invested, it becomes $65,000. Now, the car. The average new car costs $48,000 in today's market. The average person replaces their car every 6 years. Over a 40-year working lifetime, that's roughly 7 car replacements at $48,000 each. That's $336,000 spent. And that's before interest, before insurance increases, before registration fees. The real number, with financing at 6%, is closer to $450,000. $450,000 on vehicles that spend 95% of their life parked. The replacement test applied to cars. Keep your current vehicle for just 2 extra years per cycle. That saves you roughly $16,000 per cycle. Invested over a lifetime, it becomes over $200,000. This is not about driving an old car forever. It is about being deliberate about when you replace. Now let us talk about the psychology behind why the replacement test is so hard to apply. There are 4 psychological triggers that make you feel like you need something new when you do not. Trigger 1. Social comparison. You see someone with a newer model. Suddenly yours feels inadequate. Trigger 2. Marketing cycles. Companies release new products on annual cycles specifically to make last year's model feel obsolete. Trigger 3. The endowment erosion effect. The longer you own something, the less you value it, even if it still works perfectly. Trigger 4. Status signaling. A new phone or car signals success to the people around you, and that signal feels worth paying for. None of these 4 triggers are about function. They are all about feeling. And feelings are the most expensive thing you can buy with money. So how do you fight these 4 triggers in real life, practically and permanently? Strategy 1. Run the replacement test before you even start browsing. The
The moment you feel the urge to upgrade, pull out the checklist before you open a browser. Because once you start browsing, the dopamine has already started. Rational thinking is already compromised. Strategy 2. Calculate the invested value of every upgrade. Before any replacement, ask yourself what this money becomes if invested instead. $1,000 invested at 8% for 20 years becomes $4,600. That phone upgrade is not $1,000, it's $4,600 of future wealth. Strategy 3. Implement a 30-day upgrade delay. Any replacement that passes the emotional test must wait 30 days before you act on it. If after 30 days the need still feels urgent, it might be genuine. If it fades, it was never real. Strategy 4. Create a replacement fund instead of financing. Set aside a fixed monthly amount specifically for future replacements. When the fund reaches the replacement cost, buy in full, never before. This removes financing entirely and forces you to replace only when truly ready. These 4 strategies combined with the replacement test create a system that protects you from the newness tax permanently. Let's talk about what happens to your finances when you apply this system consistently over 10 years. Year 1, you extend your phone by 1 year. You save $1,000. Year 2, you apply the replacement test to your car. You keep it 2 years longer. You save $8,000. Year 3, you catch a laptop upgrade you didn't need. You save $1,200. Year 4, you negotiate a repair instead of replacing your phone again. You save $900. Year 5, you keep your car another year. You save another $4,000. Over 10 years, without changing your income, you've saved over $16,000 just by running the replacement test. Invested at 8%, that $16,000 becomes $23,000 by year 10. And over a full working lifetime, the compound effect of this single habit is life-changing. Here's the most important thing to understand about the replacement test. It's not about deprivation. It's not about driving a broken car or using a shattered phone. It's about the difference between a deliberate upgrade and an emotional one. A deliberate upgrade passes all 7 questions. It's genuinely needed, financially justified, paid for in full. An emotional upgrade fails at least 1 question. It's driven by newness, by comparison, by marketing. The goal is not to never upgrade. The goal is to only upgrade when the checklist says yes, not when your feelings do. Because your feelings will always say yes. That's what feelings do. But your financial future needs someone more reliable than your feelings making these decisions. That's what the replacement test is for. Run it every single time, without exception, without negotiation, and watch what happens to your net worth over the next 10 years. If this gave you one idea worth acting on, subscribe. Every week we break down the systems, checklists, and mindset shifts that build real wealth. See you in the next one.